demo against Papi is going to be amazing. But I hope this one is going to be fun as well. Let's see what we are working with. We've got recallers coming out of Dewalt with Blink Hunters, Mortars, and double tier 3 Foundry, by the way. Oh, that's a gnarly combo, man. That's the combo that I've really struggled with, by the way.
Yeah.
I've had 4 bases against 2, but dealing with Heavy Ballista and Behemoth is so hard. Nicoract is a Wasp enjoyer, apparently.
Alright, well, he's going to play Wasp. This is one of those things where I guess Nicoract just really needs to figure out. I mean, I feel like I look at Nicoract, if he can go to tier 3 himself, I love the snipers against the majority of what Dewalt has got, but I guess it depends how much damage the snipers deal to those tier 3 Foundry units.
Yep. Alright, you see Nicoract splitting up his groups of Wasp. One looking for the run by, one maybe just trying to find a freebie over here or denying map vision. It seems like Dewalt is not really struggling. He's just going to go tier 2. I mean, this is pretty obvious, right? This man is just going to take it very slow. He's going to get some Mortars, Recallers, go up to tier 3, and he's going to push with double tier 3 Foundry. That's going to be really hard for Nicoract to deal with. Might even want to play air against it.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate the air. I think the air is really nice because it's going to force your opponent to potentially have to go air themselves, and if they do that, that's going to take them away from the tier 3 ground tech, right? So I wouldn't be against it. He is going to go ground tech himself, though. I guess we'll see if he can get up to the snipers, because I think they're going to be the deal breaker if we get something.
Wait, so does Dewalt have the assault anti-air bot, right? What are those called exactly?
I forgot, but I know their nickname is like the Danger Mouse or something.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that they are not as impressive as assault bots, but I have very, very rarely seen them in action.
Yeah, it is a ground unit though, so it's again interesting to have like tier 2 Starforge ground units. So yeah, another interesting choice is we actually have the recall back to this forward base, and we are going to see the Wasps are just going to get a full dive on this. They surround a lot of the recalls on the left side, and now they're going to surround the recalls on the right side. We take these fights, there's no reinforcements on that recall either. I guess we've got tech units on the way over, and Mortar is making its way here, but that was a lot of recalls lost, and Nicoract opens up with some big trades, and that's huge, because that might just slow you down, or slow your opponent down enough that now you've benefited from that way faster third.
March of the Mortar coming out of Nicoract, by the way. Sweet baby Jesus, look at his natural. He's got so many Mortars coming. That's way more than Dewalt is going to be able to work with. Now, Dewalt may have defender's advantage, and if you can get him in the correct spot, make sure you cover the top as well. He might still be alright here, but he's going to have to siege right here, right now. Alright, he gets away with it, and he fires up double tier 3 here, Wardy. This is going to be fun.
Yep, Nicoract on that tier 3 as well, so we are going to see everyone go into their higher tech, and we are going to see snipers versus advanced ballistas and behemoths. Let's see if the advanced ballistas and behemoths live up to the hype, or if you're going to find your answer, Rotti.
Yeah, I believe snipers should be good against them, but I don't know. I have no idea this is going to go. This is very adventurous, by the way, against a Wasp player, trying to sneak out not exactly the fastest unit, the Recallers, to the right side for a run by. Did not work, Waddy. Did not work.
Shock. Alright, I'm surprised. How did we not make that one happen?
Wait, he's going to try again if you're at the top. I mean, obviously it doesn't hurt you to recall home, but I think it's a little adventurous to assume that you can get away with this.
That's crazy.
It's almost a little disrespectful to Nicoract, does he? Nicoract plays Terran, man. He ain't the Protoss player. He doesn't have his entire army in one spot. Alright, tier 3 is alive. How many snipers are we looking at? 3 at first. It's so many Mortars, by the way, on the side of Nicoract already. The Waltos is going to have a very, very hard time just bulldozing his way through. We do have a pretty powerful army in the bottom side of the map. Here we go. Triple Mortar. That's not going to be enough. Nice target fire on the Heavy Ballista. Oh, he gets one.
Ooh. Yeah, I love the target fire, and the target fire is getting it, so this is actually somewhat okay, because the Behemoths are tanky, but the Heavy Ballistas do actually go down. However, a lot of those mortars get broken down, and this is the Dewalt continuing to move forward very nicely. The snipers currently, they do nothing to the Behemoths, huh?
No, they do everything against the Heavy Ballista, but very little against the Behemoths.
These Behemoths are kind of sick, man. They just wander around, super tanky dudes.
Yeah, that's why I've really struggled with this silly comp, even when I had more bases. This is going to be an important fight here. Will it be Nicoract and his Mortars and Snipers? Or will it be the Heavy Ballistas of Dewalt? It's starting to look like it's the Behemoths and the Heavy Ballistas, man. Double tier 3, Wardy. Woo!
My goodness. That's sickening.
Oh, sick.
That's so good. It's like his entire. You know what's so interesting about this as well? Like his entire army was just the tier 3 units, right? Like There was no recourse to support or anything. He just like, it's just like behemoths, heavy ballistas, go push. Like usually you've got, you know, you got the throwaway units in the front, but he didn't even need them. The behemoths are that tanky.
BO is sick. Doesn't matter what he does, Waddy. The BOs.
The BOs. Beautiful stuff. Man, that's wild.
Yeah, and that's probably a frustrating one for Nicoract, right? Because it probably felt like a lot of things were going well. He had the momentum. He was getting some good trades. Didn't really take any bad fights up to the point where that double tier 3 was live for Dewalt. And that is just a gnarly combo. Might actually be worth taking a look at some of your air options.
Yeah, I think air is the thing that can at least make you question going into that tier 3 tech, right? I think that's what you've got to try and do, stop him from kind of just really kind of going there. So we will see. We have a destroyer on land from Nicoract this time as well, so he's got that option for him. He didn't have destroyers last time, right? Because otherwise I feel like he would have made them, as Dewalt actually goes completely different tech-wise.
What did Nicoract have last game again? We had...
Ready to smash.
What did he have? He had mortars? Obviously he made so many of them. I don't know.
Maybe he had destroyers and he just never made them.
That's possible as well. Because maybe it's not the... Nah, but late game he would have absolutely made destroyers.
Made them against the behemoths, yeah? That's what I thought.
What did he have? Actually don't know. I know we have...
Dewalt's build is completely different.
Yep.
As
That's actually kind of cool as well, because that's the first time we see somebody win and still play in a completely different way. So maybe they're just trying to out-mind game each other a little bit. We're going to tech up to King Crab and Destroyers.
These Wasps are not doing what they need to do. They'd love to get a few workers here, but they are just stuck in with the Scorpions. So this was a little bit too much of a dive from Nicoract, and that's not going to go well for him. And while he was looking great early on last time, as a few Scorpions getting for some worker kills here, it's definitely going to be a little bit more Dewalt who gets in early this time on the trades.
-3 workers, that's obviously not too bad. What are we going to do? I guess we're just going to expand ourselves as well, right? There's no need to really try to send it. Even though maybe a 2-base send, King Crab, Destroyer, it actually has some potential. Especially because these Scorpion fights are not too bad. Eventually you want to retreat a little bit to your side of the map. That's always difficult if you get surrounded. So many Wasps. Should have retreated a tiny bit earlier if he could have.
Yeah, it's rough as the Wasps are going to get us around now. Reinforcing Scorpions coming. I mean, we are just going to send it, by the way. Mass King Crab is on the way. So we are just going to go all or nothing, deny this base. I mean, he should be able to get the base. The question is, can the Wasps do some damage in the meantime? It's hard to imagine there's anything that's going to protect a third of Nicoract, and that's where Dewalt will just play from, trying to even up the economy situation and then going from there.
Yep, Nicoract thinking of going for a base snipe, but that's not going to work. With a King Crab here around, it is indeed going to be a very easy snipe on the third. But of course now we should have access to our mortars, to our destroyers. Honestly, you could actually go destroyer here. That would really not be bad. Yep, he's going to go for a mix. I mean, that's fine. There's no way he should push into the main or even a natural at this point. I would say just go home Dewalt and drop another base. Why not?
Yeah, I think it is time to just do that. Continue to build units. You're never going to break into the mortars. This is the moment where you want to try and make it difficult for the mortars to take the middle of the map and maybe get your third up a little bit sooner, take that advantage. That's how I see this planning out from Dewalt, as he will have the power 4 base in a moment. Let's see if he drops it.
Well, they both seem to be a tiny bit timid. Dewalt does go tier 3 for the advanced blinks.
Okay.
Not
so really
sure.
just
I mean,
the tech heavy stuff.
You can maybe blink on top of mortars, or try to blink on top of destroyers, and then hope that your King Crabs go to town. 2 base against 2 base here, man. I feel like if Nicoract could, he would pull the workers at this point. But he can't.
Yeah, you got those working in front of the mortars, just run them in and siege them up. Because you're actually going to see a massive spread here from Dewalt, who is going to try and break onto this position. He has a lot of units. He needs to get rid of some of these destroyers. If the destroyers get the free reign over the King Crabs, it's not going to end well for you, as the destroyers do get free reign over those King Crabs, and he does clean them all up. If those destroyers had gone down, this would have actually been a great fight from Dewalt. Now, it was a disaster.
Well, it was actually like very even for a while though, but Nicoract had so many extra units coming in, right? But the initial fight there, it kind of felt like it was dead even. It came down to 1 mortar surviving with 10 HP by the time that final Scorpion went down. But yeah, you're not wrong, because obviously Nicoract had so many extra units that were on the way. Now we've got tier 3, we've got advanced blinks. What are we going to do with those? The run-by has some potential, because at this point Nicoract has nothing at home. But I don't think that Dewalt can really hold at home.
Yeah, I think the run-by is the right idea. Is No, well, I guess a few destroyers come out, man. They just destroyers are so good against what the things they're good against, right? Like it's almost ridiculous. As the mortar's set up, and I think you're right, Nicoract is going to be a little bit too good. I just do not believe Advanced Blinks can do anything to make a difference here. As you're going to see the destroyers deleting King Crabs, and yeah. It's funny
It
when
felt
you
like a
have to
very
just get
odd
deleted.
choice to go tier 3 Advanced Blinks here. It felt like this was really not the game for it. I think a third base would have been better, or you try to tack up to air and see if you could do something with air. Like maybe the Behemoths would have actually been sick. Think of a mix between, sorry, not the Behemoths, but the Mammoths. Think of a mix of Mammoths and maybe King Crabbies. But yeah, this investment into the Advanced Blinks did not pay off at all.
No, Advanced Blink was not a...
No.
Like you said, I don't even know what the idea was with the Advanced Blinks. I don't know where he felt like the Advanced Blinks were going to be like the heroes, so, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know where we thought that was going to be like the answer to anything, so interesting choice, and we get tied up 1-1. Dewalt and Nicoract.
It is true that Mammoths obviously would get counted by destroyers, right? Because they were destroyers, so maybe that's not really it. And airships obviously struggle with every single form of anti-air. It doesn't really matter what it is, but then just like a third base, more tier 2, I don't know. But anything besides the tier 3 investment in Advanced Blinks, because there are moments where the Advanced Blinks can look awesome, and they obviously give you some micro potential as well. But this game, I think, really was not it.
We're going to see instant tech from Dewalt.
Ooh.
King
The
Crab
first time
Destroyer
you see
one
this
day.
today, one base tech.
I think, did Thingy do it? Larimbo at one point?
Oh yeah, Larimbo against Claymore, right? With the Scorpions and King Crabbies. And then he lost his Scorpions and then he clicked on the main base of Clem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only time. Alright, so maybe same idea here. Scorpion, King Crab. Obviously, Larimbo did lose a lot of his Scorpions, right? As he took a fight very close to Clem's main way before the King Crabbies were there. And we all thought that maybe if he didn't donate that many Scorpions and then the King Crabs would have gone to town on the workers, maybe there was potential for that one base rush to work. A lot of people love the idea of one base at least being intimidating, right? At least being strong. And Rotti, I'm not ashamed to admit that I have died to some one base.
I thought I had one base figured out, and then turns out I did not have it figured out. I've died to it a fair bit. Some of them are just so scary, man. Like, some of the units that can show up so quickly.
Yeah, especially stuff like
Terrifying.
Stingers. I find like the one base Stinger push is very scary. Alright, here we go, and I do think that Dewalt has done a very good job in not donating any Scorpions yet. King Crab's already getting a couple of good hits off. I don't know about the run by against the one base all-in. I feel like you're not going to get too much done here, even though King Crabby is going to be blocked by its own Scorpion, but the King Crabs of Dewalt are going to town, man. And Nicoract, he still needs some time. You think he's just going to spam Destroyers immediately?
He has to just spam Destroyers, but if you position properly here, you're just going to surround them straight away, right? So,
Not the
you
main.
need...
Well, unless you're indeed going to surround. I like the one King Crab on the workers. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And this is where he needs to get on top of the Destroyers. Can he get taken? Oh my goodness. What? King Crabs where?
This is so stupid, yeah. But it's so good. I mean, now the Scorpions are still putting in some work, but now you build a mortar and you're going to be safe and
But maybe
return
now
the
like
attention towards the natural.
one King Crab on all the workers in the natural. Maybe then we can still make it a game. Because we have taken out some workers in the main as well, right?
The King Crab is running the hell away from that Destroyer, man. He is not messing around. The King Crab dives on the main base, gets rid of the mortar there. There's a Scorpion trying to get rid of the Destroyer. The Destroyer is so low. Oh my goodness. And the fact that it survives makes such a difference.
Scorpion, final hit of a Scorpion is good enough. But yeah, I think at this point we have ran out of steam already. Man, I felt like I was looking at 4 King Crabs and then I blinked and I was looking at 0 King Crabs. What it was all of a sudden a one base Scorpion attack.
Yeah. The Destroyers just spawned in, and obviously they got patched, right? So they auto-target the durable units.
Yeah, which I find
And-
questionable, by the way.
Yeah, because at least then they would have spawned in, probably shot a Scorpion once or twice, and then the target fire, if it was perfect, would have deleted them, but... Yeah, this was... kind of the thing is, yeah, Destroyers are just so good. I don't think you can do this if there's Destroyers available. They just smashed it.
Yep. I figured that it was going to be close, and I thought maybe the Destroyers can get surrounded. King Crabs get a couple of hits off, but nope. Destroyers popped. Not just one of them, but like 5 or 6, and every single King Crab disappeared, and then it's a one-base Scorpion attack, which is just obviously not that intimidating anymore. It seems like Nicoract is going to take the lead here in this series for the first time. The man who was down 0-1 is going to take a 2-1 lead after 3 games. I think at this point, Rotti, that seems inevitable.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wonder if, again, we hit the base for a little bit, right? And like spread the units out. What if we send one king crab on the natural and that just kills all the workers there, and then you have, you know, more workers dead in the main? Then your opponent just struggles to keep building against your reinforcements. So I think you could have at least deleted all of the economy on the natural, because this attack is obviously doomed. So this should be the final moments of game number 3, and Nicoract will have the lead.
Yeah, it's the second time we see it today. It's the second time it does not work. It is the second time that I am left with that feeling of, could we have done things better? Could we indeed have split off one king crab into the natural and maybe get on top of the workers a tiny bit quicker? But I don't know, man. I feel like if it was that great, then we'd probably see it all the time. And maybe against destroyers, it is just not it. But well done by Nicoract as he turns things around. The man who was down 0-1 and now takes the 2-1 lead. And let's not forget that the man who took the 1-0 lead decided to completely switch it up, which is nice for us, right? But what is stopping him from just going back to that double tier 3 that he found success with in game 1?
Yeah, go back to Heavy Ballista or Behemoth. Seems pretty good to me, man. It was
I love that Behemoth just got his own unit now at this point. This is ridiculous, but okay. I want to get Rotties in the game as well, but I don't know how we can do
some
this.
Rotties.
I mean, people said the dragonflies are the butterflies, but I don't know, man. My phoenixes survive a whole lot longer.
Yeah, I don't think dragonflies are quite it, mate.
Yeah, I would love to see the Dewalt just go back, because it makes sense that if you're losing or you feel like your opponent has a really good deck against yours, that you switch it up. But that man had a far from flawless early game, and he still just got the job done with a double tier 3 foundry. So why not go back to that? I mean, there is money on the line. $150 for the winner, 50 for the loser. He took the 1-0 lead, and we are back to what we took the 1-0 lead with. And I think it makes a lot of sense, Wadi.
Yeah, I'm with you. Why the heck not go for what was absolutely insane in the first game?
And we have destroyers on the side of Nicoract, and that is something that he perhaps forgot about. Because like snipers are obviously very good in certain situations. Snipers are amazing against mortars. But yeah, destroyers should be good against the BOs and the heavy ballistas.
Just about finding a way to get through the behemoth. So, like you say, if we if we get the destroyers to get them, maybe we're talking.
Similar setup to that first game. Nicoract splitting up his wasps in 2 different groups. This is going to be a nuisance here. Work on the base a little, but you're not going to take out that base anytime soon. I would kind of love to see him play air. Nicoract, that is. I feel like if you know what your opponent is going to do, like, I am not that worried about dying against like one base recallers and blinky boys. You're going to be able to out-expand your opponent for a little while. So yeah, I would like to see him go air here.
I'm with you. I think that's the logical choice based on what we're currently seeing. If we go air, I think there's a very good shot of just kind of making your opponent kind of have to play around you and not get to that tier 3 tech, but we're just going to go more to destroyer with that basic advantage. I mean, again, the early game was great for Nicoract in game 1.
Yeah.
It was just he had no answer in the end.
Maybe we had an answer and we just forgot that we had an answer because we never built destroyers.
Yeah. Could be.
Oh, he's going to take this fight. Might need a few more recallers. I actually kind of like this fight for the Wasp.
Yeah,
am I crazy?
Great. Yeah, no, it's really good. That was not a recall we could get away with. That's kind of what happened in game 1 as well, right? Like, we recalled in, we had to recall these few units back as well. This is disastrous, and it was exactly the same. It was just as the mortars were coming up as well. And just before that, and now suddenly you started to switch around different bases, you started to harass different mineral lines, and you just put some damage in, although the mortar is in range for the most part of defense. The top workers are not on that natural defended currently. Actually, nothing on the main base either, so these wasps are going to get through again. And Nicoract is trying to make the absolute most of this.
Seems like we're already looking at a 4-base Nicoract, and it's so unnecessary, right? What a sad moment for the Dewalt, because if you look at the HP on the third Wadi, it's still like 95% there or 90% there. There was really no need to already recall. Maybe just hoping to get a couple of free hits off, but if you just wait, like, it's okay to lose some HP on that base, because once you have mortars, you're never ever going to lose it anyway against a bunch of wasps. Just a little too eager there with the recall. And obviously kudos to Nicoract for immediately realizing that that is a great fight to take, and he took full advantage of it.
The mortars will siege on the other side, as we're going to see Dewalt try to make something happen, but not rich enough to afford the tier 3, what was so good for him in the game 1. So even though he went back to it, the game will just not get to the point where he can make use of it. As, yeah, we have a bit of a mortar push, but obviously Nicoract is rich, and he's about to have snipers, and the moment snipers spawn out, yeah, you are good. You don't even need to defend the fourth right now, I don't think. I think you can let this go down if you want to. And, yeah, just let this kind of fall, and eventually snipers are going to play cleanup and do great for you.
Yep, we are going to get the double tier 3 though by Dewalt, and if Dewalt takes out this fourth base, we might still have a game, even though the center is completely exposed. Great job here by Nicoract with the Wasp. He's going to lose a couple of them, but if he gets 5-6 workers, he should be happy. He's not really getting those 5-6 workers yet, but in the end, well, we make it 5. I think he's going to be okay with that.
Oh, here come the snipers. Whoa, we didn't kill off the base as the mortars are going to re-siege. Snipers are going to get in reach. Are they going to kill the mortars before the base? Oh my goodness, they are.
Oh no, poor Dewalt. If you would have taken that out, I was actually very curious to see how this would go. And once more, we go for the very ambitious recall drive-by against the guy with 1,000,000 wasp. This is not the game of Dewalt so far. He bad Rico into the center and now not taking out the fourth, even though he was all over it for a while. Look at the recallers though, he does find a mortar. Now he's gonna find a whole bunch of wasps. Nicoract is probably wondering like, baby, what are you doing? What is this play? But that's actually a pretty good one this time around.
Yeah, working out is going to see obviously the push on the other side. Here the behemoths and the ballistas. This was the issue we had before. Still no destroyers available, although this time we just have the numbers. The heavy ballistas get melted and the behemoths, you mentioned it, they don't really do the damage, right, the behemoths, so... Yeah, once it's just the behemoths, they don't really do too much. Some recalls are still going, man. These guys.
Yeah, the recall squad in the center, perhaps the most successful squad of the game, but it's never going to be enough. GG gets called. Nicoract has taken full control of this series. Was down 0-1, now takes the 3-1 lead and is one map away from walking away with $150. Obviously, the loser of every series will still get $50 as well. And we're going to do it all over again tomorrow, aren't we, Rotti?
Yeah, we are. Tomorrow we're going to have the community, what are we calling it? The community rumble or something?
Yeah, I think like the community rumble, Battle Aces, Discord community rumble. Let's keep it long and sweet.
Yeah, they'll keep it long. Yeah, the longer it is, the better. I want to say it 10 times over.
Are you excited to play?
Yeah, man. I didn't get a chance to play as much the last week or two, so whoever gets me might actually have a chance this time, but, you know. I'm excited to play because this game's very fun to play. I'm going to try play a few different decks or something, I think, as well, so excited.
You're going to see Mega Tryhard Rotti made Gunbot every game. I've got no plan B.
I'm not saying I'm going to do it like a lot of games, but maybe from game 1 to 2 I'll try something different and then go back to what's working, you know.
Let's see what Dewalt decides to do here in our 6th of 8 best of 7s. Thanks everybody for joining in. It seems that they love you guys are having a great time. That makes us happy, makes Uncapped Games happy, and they are obviously the ones who allow us to run this event. So big shout out to everybody over at Uncapped Games for allowing us to run this fun day of show matches. Game 5, Rotti. Match point for Nicoract. As once more, we've got Scorpion versus Wasp, but we also have Gunbots. And I don't think he had Gunbots before. Didn't he have Blink Hunter?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's just not afraid of his opponent playing air. So he's just like, yeah, I'm not going to bother. This is absolutely the time to play air as Nicoract. 100%, right? Because then if you play air, you stop him from going mortar. And he's teching first as well, so like he's probably going to tech Foundry, then you can tech air in response.
But Dewalt might actually just play 3-base ground here. Like actually he could go with the approach that we saw earlier today of Potting and Trigger, like just spam Scorpion Gunbot. That's pretty damn powerful against Wasp. I think you can absolutely go 3-base here. Like he must go, no he doesn't, he goes air, 2-base air, okay.
Well, Nicoract's going to go air himself, so I guess he has to, right? Because otherwise he just has no answer.
So we have Butterfly Airship versus Airship and Mammoth.
Well, I guess the beauty of it is Dewalt, is you can kind of just... I guess you just build some airships and some mammoths, and it's still okay for you, maybe? I actually don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like if you build some airships, you need to build all the airships, right? Because otherwise Nicoract can just build all the airships, and if you only build some, you're just going to lose that fight.
Gunbot's going to activate, but I love it. The Wasps again on top of the Gunbots, they're just kind of just taking away the Scorpion tankiness. And so these Wasps are going to start continue to do pretty well. Going to go for the Gunbots again. Starting to run out in numbers. A few reinforcements coming across, and the Scorpions still strong in the front. We'd love to see again the Wasps just jump onto some of these Gunbots again, because they will just deal so much damage if they go unanswered.
Scorpions are owning though. The Scorpions are absolutely owning. Now I'm very curious, what will Nicoract build? I kind of feel like you have to go airship here. And he goes butterflies, at least a couple. But maybe after these 2 butterflies, just to help out a little bit on the ground, then he must go airship, no?
Yeah, he just needs to clean up, and then you got to go airships to kind of deal with your opponent's eventual airships. Otherwise, you're just in trouble. So control this, then get airships up of your own. Of course, you are up a base, right? So if you just now go airships and you're good, I think we're okay. How many can we build? 3 against 7? Yeah, that's the problem, right? You mentioned it.
This is a problem right now. Actually, I'm starting to like this for the man who's trailing 3-1 in this best of 7. As we've got airships for days, we're might not gonna be able to take out this base because airships are not that good in taking out and expand. We're gonna have a butterfly drive-by, by the way, the bottom side of the map, but Dewalt has a read on it. 2 airships intercepted. I think we're going to game 6, Rotti.
This base goes down, Dewalt will expand. We get set back up as we have the airship wasp combo up on this top side, chilling out a little bit. A few of those wasps start to move out.
Maybe we could have. Maybe we need to chill here because you really, really don't want to lose the airship battle here if you're Dewalt. If you do that, you're actually in trouble. It's a close battle, but I think in the end, nah, he's fine. He's got more than enough. That's gonna do it.
Good.
Yep, that is a GG. Well done by Dewalt there, switching it up. Funny fight there with the Scorpions because it kind of looked like the Wasps were absolutely holding their own right and they were buying time, but all of a sudden they went in very deep to get on top of the gunbots, and that's awesome. But there were actually only 3 gunbots there, and by committing so many Wasps to chase down those gunbots, the Scorpions just absolutely blasted every single remaining Wasp that was fighting on the ground, and yeah, Solane turned heavily in favor of Dewalt.
The airship battles I can already see being a meme in the future, man. It's like, who built one less airship?
That's ultimate Phoenix against Phoenix, but at least they don't stack, you know? So I feel like there is more micro potential.
Yeah, you can actually count and move them backwards and play with them.
Yeah, I've tried, and there were some moments where I was like, "Ooh, I like my micro," and there were other moments where I was like, "Wait a minute, I feel like if I would have done nothing, this would have gone better." The anti-micro can be very real. Game 6. 150 buckies for the winner, 50 for the loser. Once more, everything provided by Uncapped Games today. Very, very grateful that we can do this. It's been fun. Looking forward to tomorrow as well. Everybody make sure to join the Battle Aces Discord because we will select 8 lucky players to play against 8 community members, streamers, casters. There will be more info provided later tonight, and it will start same time, same place tomorrow. And before any of you nerds get your hopes up that were invited today, if you were invited today, you can play tomorrow. Don't be greedy.
Yeah, that's a little bit much, isn't it?
Yeah. 4 Scorpions in the bottom right side. I mean, 4 Scorpions against this many Wasps. I feel like you're going to be okay. Nice micro by Nicoract. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at this. That is so much tryharding. We should give him a penalty.
You're not meant to do this much micro-arenas. Now the Wasps kind of winning out a little bit on the top side as well. I like it so far. Picking up on his opponent's tendencies of just hiding those Scorpions down there and trying for that run by. And that's why it was kind of cool. Some of the earlier series players were doing different things with their same units early, and it just, made them less predictable. That's obviously something to think about as well in these longer matches when you kind of go through this early game 5-6 times.
I mean, I almost feel like if you play Wasp here against Gunbot Scorpion, you're gonna get a little bit reckless. Because if you just let the armies grow, it's gonna go really, really, really bad for you. And Nicoract is trying to be a little bit reckless, but I don't know if these were quite the openings that he was hoping for. Overall, I really like the way that Dewalt is playing this. The man who was trailing 1-3, Rotti, I feel like he's retaking control of this best of 7.
The Wasps in the center, though, are going to try and for the full surround. This time it's surround on the Gunbats and on the Scorpions. We're going to keep on fighting here. A few more Wasps showing up at the same time. No tech being made, so this time it's everyone just kind of spamming out units. There are 3 bases on 3 bases. No one wants to be the first to invest into tech because it's so expensive right now.
That's a lot of
this
extra
time the Wasps are winning.
Yeah, but just if you're winning in the center, you're winning close to your own third base, that's one thing. I do think Dewalt should chill a little bit, mate. You were absolutely losing that previous fight, and now he's going in really deep. If I'm Nicoract, I'm just hammering down that bottom once more for a few more Wasps. He's the first one to tech up Rotti. He's going to go for mortars and destroyers.
Attack on the way up, as this is a fight that then doesn't go his way because he was tacking up, right? So that's money spent, and this is where you probably shouldn't have committed. Fall back, get a few more units up. Maybe you let your third take a little bit of damage because, like you say, you're on the way to that tech much sooner. Is this now a step too far forward without reinforcements from Dewalt? As we are going to see the wall starting to look a little bit better, but I just don't think so. The 5 or 6 gunbots are doing a whole world of work, but now they're going to be running out of their overclock. They spend it one more time. A few more wasps coming in. Obviously, they just show up so quickly, these wasps, and I think Nicoract will hold on, get the tech out, and that third base is not taking any work losses at all.
I still think it looks better for Dewalt now than it did a while ago. Nicoract, I think if he would have just doubled down on the wasp for a split second, he was absolutely owning. But at one point he was floating, tacking at the same time, and now he's once more chasing into the center of the map. I don't think he should be doing that. He gets one gun, but he will eventually gets the second. But he needs tier 2. The problem is that his tier 2 is mortars, right? I'm gonna slowly... Okay, that's a lot of mortars. That's not a problem, Rotti. If you have this many mortars, that is not a problem. Man, what an epic battle over the third. We do have a tiny run by. Yeah, I like this. It's a mixture between Scorpions and Gunbutts. I'd love to see the Scorpions going deep. Mortars are here to save the day. Alright, we're all tied up for now. Welcome to Mortar Wars.
Snipers on the way from Nicoract already is obviously going to break the mortars, but then we're going to see the Behemoths and Heavy Ballistas coming out. Well, we'll see how we do that. As we are going to dive in, trying to just get more mortars in position, but if you target fire those mortars, trying to get in position, you should be able to do okay, and I think that's exactly what we did. So, you got 3 mortars on the bottom, but they're not really in a dangerous place, right?
Maybe he could sneak one more further to the right, then it would be in range of some of these workers. Yeah. If you're in, if you have vision. I think that's kind of the play here. I mean, that definitely was not a great trade for Dewalt, but that does allow him to get the mortars in the sweet spot here. Wow, -8, just like that.
-8. Yeah, no, that's definitely the power of this setup. As you do have defensive mortars back at home, so the Wasp one by not probably going to do too much. We already have some mortars set up defensively on the natural. We are moving mortars across aggressively. So actually, the third base of Dewalt's going to be in trouble. I think he wanted to wait to build more stuff until he, had the tier 3 tech available. Actually going to send those mortars around the back, so he's going to do exactly the same. I think he could have actually gone more aggressively onto the base, but he just didn't realize it.
Yeah, he didn't know, right? He doesn't quite see what we see, but I love it. I feel like that's a real TVT move by Nicoract. Like, he's under a lot of pressure at home, and he just grabs 3 tanks, aka mortars, runs them to the other side of the map, sees them in a good spot. But I am with you. He could have done a tiny bit more, but he at least gets those 8 workers. Now he's going to have to donate some wasp to make sure that he doesn't lose the remaining mortars.
Snipers clean up on the bottom side of the third base. That is going to be freed up. So snipers will deal with the mortars. Obviously, the question is, can the Behemoths and heavy ballistas make a difference as well? I really feel like I'm surprised we haven't seen a single attempt to make just a couple of destroyers just to hit the Behemoths throughout the fights. Yeah. I feel like they would do so much.
It's like he's not a believer. But I mean, maybe if you have this many mortars and this many snipers, you don't need to be a believer. The mortars do seem a little bit exposed, though. Here come those Behemoths. Is it good enough? I mean, it's kind of good. It's definitely not a win for Dewalt.
No, now all these mortars don't have really an answer, right? Because now the snipers can just move forward and kill so many, but we're unsure about it. I think Nicoract can absolutely go and get so much value right now before reinforcements show up. The mortars are all going to unsiege. That's going to be a massive kill. Snipers getting a bunch done. Mortars moving forward. We're going to see now snipers just able to target fire down units such as the heavy ballistas. The mortars trying to move into this fight, just not going to happen. And it does look as though Nicoract will absolutely take this game and this series because... yeah, I think you said it, right? It's like the TVT move. He understands so well how to kind of go across the map and create situations for his opponent when it gets a bit hairy yourself, and it absolutely allowed him to take some better fights here.
Yep, I think he was in a bit of trouble. It's very interesting not to see him go for destroyers, but hey, if you have this many snipers, this many mortars, and you're very confident in your ability to play mortar against mortar, who really cares? Who needs a destroyer? It is indeed going to be Nicoract who's going to win our 6th best of 7 of the night. 150 buckies will go to him. A great StarCraft II player from Russia gets the dub over a great Broodwar player from Russia here in Battle Aces. Isn't that beautiful, Rotti? The circle is complete.
The circle is complete. Well, we are going to be seeing the snipers in such high numbers here, just going to target fire down, man. When they one-shot the heavy ballista, it looks crazy, but that's a lot of expensive snipers. And yeah, he's going to finish up this series 4-2 for Nicoract. He takes this down, and congrats to him.